Welcome, all Riskateers. We are working on our Rank Up series, ranking up at the game of Risk online. We're playing a random group of ranked people from the lobby online in today's match on Europe Advanced. We're working through different tips and strategies to help you rank your game up. So the game of Risk online has changed dramatically over the past 18 months. The way you have to win ranked games has completely changed. I'm in the first position here, so give me a second to figure out my starting position. I've got the most troops here with very little resistance in Germany to fight through, so I think I work in Germany or I work in Spain. I like Spain in this map because it's split. So I'm going to work in Spain. So key number one, don't be too aggressive on that first turn. You don't have to take that very first turn bonus. One thing it does is it makes everybody kind of start to target you at that point. So don't worry about having to take that bonus on your first turn. Grab the map real quick, then we can. Okay, so we were in the first spot. You're going to select a spot on the map where you have some troops. Have to have troops, so there's no point in working there. I didn't have a stack to work with, but I did have 3 of the territories already out of the 5 I needed for Spain. And I love on this map when Spain has a blizzard in one of these 2 spots because it makes it a 1-point guard instead of a 2-point guard up here in the north, below Gascony for southwestern Europe, or what we're calling Spain. Really, Spain and Portugal is actually what that is. Okay, so we don't necessarily have to take that bonus on the first turn, even though a lot of people will act like you have to take that bonus or you're out of the game. Notice how many players are not taking bonuses on the first turn. Okay, so magenta doesn't have a bonus, and green did, and red did not take a bonus, right? So green takes a bonus. He's the first. He takes Italy, and he's got a 4 and a 2. So in general, if you're going to take these bonuses on the first turn, make sure you've got at least a 4 guard. And the second piece of it is make sure you're not competing right next to someone else who's going to have a bonus claim. So green knew that white and black were still to go. White had a big stack in Russia, 2 big stacks actually in Russia to work with. So he knew he wasn't going to be a problem. Black's most likely claim is either here in Spain or down here in the Orient or Greece. Greece is a really nice blizzard setup on this map because of where the blizzards are. It's actually turning that into a 1. All right, so here goes black. So the reason Risk has changed so much is because a lot of strategy and tips have been disseminated. Number one, I think, influencer, the Kill Pete strategy. And he has taught a lot of players how to play a smarter game of Risk, and specifically how to be good neighbors, which means not breaking other opponents and allowing other opponents to do the breaks instead of you. Okay, black takes Greece. That's a smart move. He's got a great claim on this with the blizzards. He's going to be tough to take out of that position. Okay, we're going to finish off our bonus here. If we do a 5-on-1, we can click and we can drag this down to our blitz win chance is 100%. I'm going to use the least amount of troops I can. That reduces how many troops you lose on that attack. So we got a 3 and a 4 guard. We're okay for now. We're being patient about it. The key is to identify our next move out of this. It's going to depend on whether green works south or green works north, where we want to go from here. So getting back to the way Risk has changed, people have become good neighbors, meaning they don't break each other as much. And the strategy from the Kill Pete strategy was allow everybody to own their continents, own their bonuses, don't try to break them, let your opponents do the breaking. And that's still the strategy. Don't do the breaking, don't upset people, don't start a war, for sure, is still the strategy. But it's changed a little bit in how useful that strategy is because very few people are doing the breaking. So it's allowing people to take bonuses longer, and it's causing these ranked games to go longer because less people are doing the breaking and ruining their games early. So we're going to work through some strategies and show ways to play the long game in ranked games, including what we just did there and being patient in our first round turn, not getting super low to where someone had the incentive to come beat us up and try to ruin our game. So the kind of meta of Risk has changed from everyone was breaking each other to nobody's now breaking each other. And because nobody's breaking each other, these games are going longer. So people are looking for really early game moves to ruin your game, basically. They're looking for the short term gratification, probably trying to rank up. And if they want to rank up fast, they're trying to win games fast. And that's the exact opposite of what you want to focus on. So you got to be safe early. The key early is to not incentivize anyone to take you out. Another key is not to take 3 bonuses in general, specifically on a map like this. Don't take 3 bonuses. The next key is just to avoid the classic map right now in ranked Risk. I know it's the classic, I know it's the one that everyone wants to play, but it is a nightmare right now in ranked matches. And you're basically flipping a coin by playing those games, and you're flipping a 6-sided coin where you're only on one die or one side of it. Because the game is all about timing now. People have learned how to hold their bonuses, wait, and go get the bounty at the right time to trade in cards at the right time and go run the board. So you need bigger maps like this, where it takes more strategy, more developed strategy to go win the game. Okay, so what I really want to do is probably work down here into Africa, or I create a secondary. I think I'm going to create a secondary. No one's really established themselves up here. And again, we're not going to worry about taking it on the first turn up here. Not turnip, but turn up here. We're going to fortify back down to this position. Leave a nice 8 stack in case anyone wants to mess around with us. We have that retaliation. So we left a 4 and a 3, which probably seemed like we should have added to our guards there. But at this point in the game, again, the way people are playing ranked Risk, they're not breaking a lot. So Magenta's maybe working on taking North Africa from both sides. Potentially. Okay, so we are in the middle of, just to go through our settings here, we're playing Global Domination. Europe Advanced our map. Full auto setup, turn timer 60 seconds. We don't have any bots. It is ranked, it's progressive, we're in balanced blitz dice. Alliances are off, fogs off, blizzards are on, and portals are off, are the settings we're playing. This is the kind of size map I'm looking for to really work in ranked up Risk, because there's a higher level of strategy involved versus the progressive strategy of waiting till the 6th through 8th turn, making your move on stealing somebody's cards at the right time, and double turning in turns and get to take everybody out. This is harder to do that. All right, green takes the Alps. And he takes an extra attack here, which is unnecessary. He leaves his 12 as a guard for both the Alps and Italy. So pay attention when you're playing these ranked games. Some people are playing Good Neighbor, some are not playing Good Neighbor. Green's expecting a Good Neighbor game, the way he's set up here. He's not guarding at all, so it probably tells us he's a good neighbor. Red's playing a Good Neighbor game, not guarding also. So red and green likely expect to have that kind of game played. Magenta has spent a ton of troops getting basically nothing accomplished so far, and looks like the early odds-on favorite to become the fish. White has spent all of his troops trying to take Russia, and still has not been able to accomplish it. Trying to build up decent-sized guards. Red is about to take Eastern Europe, and that's going to be a problem. That's a +8. We've got a 4 stack here that will hopefully deter him from doing that anytime soon. Okay, so black takes the other side of North Africa, so Magenta doesn't have any reason to take it. We could trade in now for 4 cards, but there's no need to do that in Progressive. Don't turn in until you get 5 cards the first time. Pretty much ever, unless you're just in the most dire of circumstances. We're going to add here so that we have it available to us in a little bit. Add 1 there. And we're not going to full on guard, but we're going to a little bit guard here. So the way you do this is you attack with everybody. You move everybody up. Then we're going to move up what we want to move back down as our guard. Okay, so however we want to split this, can do that probably. Into our attack phase and we fortify back down. We have a 5 and a 6 guard. So I get that you should play good neighbor and you shouldn't guard, but I've played enough ranked games in this new world of Risk that I know you've got to have some sort of guard, or you're just risking, let's say Magenta, just putting every troop here to come break me out of nowhere. So you don't want to allow that stuff to ruin your game. So obviously we're not making huge guards. He's going to hit my 4 with his 10. Okay. He's got white boxed in. What we need to do is, we don't want red to have this, first off. Red, green, and black have this boxed off with blizzards at top and bottom, so there's literally no way to get from the left side to the right side of the map without breaking someone right now. So the game now is to probably start pulling off externals and potentially taking red out of this position at least. We've got our 2 bonuses. My goal is always 2 bonuses in the first 4 rounds. Okay, so when you're playing on a map like this, you're at 2 bonuses. Sorry, I'm trying to get to this. So I'm a +4 and a +3, so I've got a +7. So I'm okay for now. The problem is red right now, and I'm hoping white will hit him. This +8 is a problem. We don't necessarily have to take it out this turn. We can kind of wait for someone to break them. But you'll see, this is the difference in what Risk is right now. In the old days, white breaks that 100% of the time, and now people just don't break the same. So you can't necessarily just trust people are going to break, but you also don't want to create a big enemy early in the game. So we're not going to break it. We just want someone else to break it. It's a problem. Black's going to work through the Orient. The problem is he's got a lot of troops to take out of the Orient, including a 9 stack of green and a 4 stack of magenta. So he's going to use up a ton of troops, but he's in a great position because he's got Greece locked up here. I can't really do anything with my... Oh, he does hit the green stack. And green says, really? Black loses 7, green loses 9. Whew. That is a big hit early. Black really wants the Orient. Likely Black is a somewhat newer player. Not definitely, but possibly. Because he is so focused on taking a hit like that early on. The problem is he didn't take green fully out of this position, so he's risking a little bit there. I can work to take Africa potentially. I think that's what I do because I'm far. That keeps me furthest away from everybody else at this point. Or I take red out of the top. I don't want to create an enemy yet, but I'm going to put some troops here to potentially do that next turn. I'm going to have cards next turn, but I'll get the 4 trade, or I'll get the 6 trade because white already traded in. So I'm going to be slow down here. Red's going to get too many troops here. My hope is that he wastes them. We're going to see what he does with them. And not waste them breaking me. Okay, Magenta adds in the Orient, which is going to make Black mad. He takes North Africa, which is just not going to last. I'm fine to let him have that for now. But Black's going to break him almost certainly because Black wants all of this in the Orient here. Okay, here goes Red. He's got a bunch of troops. He got 10. He puts them here. Let's see where he goes. He just leaves a stack here. That's a really smart move. So he creates an external stack, although it's in between his two bonuses, so not super helpful, but it's kind of the only place you can go that they're safe right now. All of these areas, he could have put it down here potentially, but it doesn't look super safe. So the problem with this for me is if I go take him out of Iceland, he's got this 15 stack pointed at me, ready to break me. So I will not be creating that enemy at this point. Green adds everybody into the Orient, so that's where Black made his big mistake last turn. If you're going to hit that big of a stack, take it out with your 6. Because now he left this 10 stack in here. Now he created this 10 stack in here. That'll be interesting to see how Black deals with that. Cool. All right, White is expanding Russia, which is perfect. We love that White's kind of boxed in here. I'd even love White to lose this 4 stack. I don't really want to do it, but I'd love for him to lose it so that he has to come from this direction. Because he's hitting everybody but me, basically. No way Black lets Magenta keep that. He might hit that 10 stack, though. Oh, he hits the 9. If he hits that 9, no, he comes the other way. But he doesn't break Magenta. I think my plan is now to take West Africa and try to say I'm buddies with Magenta. Let's see if it works. I'm letting them know we're buds. No need to worry about it. Trying to decide how much of this I really want to take. I think I just go something like this. Because we're just going to give Magenta a little opportunity to prove himself here. Let's see what happens. I basically was telling Magenta, hey, we're good. Put all your troops somewhere else. Don't keep building over here because you're not going to get any more territory, but I'll let you keep your bonus. And he looks like he's holding true to that, which is good. You never really know how people are going to take that. Oh, he adds 5. Okay. So now we know that Magenta cannot stay there. I guess he was just getting an easy take by not breaking me, but I really don't trust him at that point. Kind of gave him his opportunity to decide. Okay. So what we need to do, we need to pop, and then potentially take Magenta out of this position or just guard well. Okay, red brings a big stack down but doesn't hit me. Red's at 68, I'm at 63. We're the 2 troop leaders right now. Now green goes up to 68, but he's trapping all of his troops in the Orient. See if he does it again. He does. He's trapping his troops in the Orient, and he is risking, or he's kind of threatening to take Black out of the game here. It's smart in one sense because he's burying some troops, making them really tough to get to. But it's not smart in one sense because Black has proven that he will make a really dumb attack. So it's possible he's going to lose those troops. Another thing to do when you're playing ranked matches, check your players. If it says I'm offline here, you know that they have bought it out. So far, no one's bought it out in this game. Bots obviously play a lot different than human players, so you want to know as soon as they bought out, because that's going to change how things work. White gets another take into the Orient. He's letting red keep this, which is a problem. I was hoping black would block white here from the Orient. And he might now that he has cards, or he might hit this 18, or he might take magenta out of this. I don't know. Could go any direction here, because he's going to get a nice card trade of 15. We do not have cards. Let's see what he does with his 15 troops. This should be interesting. Red's 22 stack is set up to take Great Britain next turn. Or break me. Can't tell for sure yet. But this is the new game of Risk again. Nobody's hitting each other, right? So in the old days, Green would have never been able to guard the Alps and get a +4 with 2 single guards. Just never would have happened. But now that's the way this works. Red has not been hit at all. Did black just bot out? We don't know. Okay. We've got 13 troops. We're going to put 5 there. And we're going to attack here. Do we move no, we can't move everyone. We do something like that. Something like that. We attack here. We move everyone up there. We attack here. We're not going to get quite an even split, so I kind of messed that up, but we'll see what magenta does. Now, green might break us also, but green's got a lot more to risk by breaking us because he's got some individuals up here. So let's see if he breaks us or not. Magenta gets 20 troops. We're really hoping, yeah, he puts them somewhere else. Go hit red. Oh, he hits green. Did not see that coming. Okay. He hits green and accidentally buries all of his troops in the Alps. Or purposely, but looks like accidentally, the way that went. So Magenta's got a big stack now, sitting right out. Well, he buries them and doesn't fortify back, so maybe it was on purpose. He's trying to stay alive, I think, which is not a bad move. Leaving a 29 stack there buried next to blizzards. Right, let's see how aggressive red's going to be in this game. Yeah, he comes to break me. No, he comes just to build at Gascony. So he has blocked me in 2 positions, which is interesting. Very interesting because he knows there's a good chance I'm getting cards if I want them. And he knows I'm set up for a large bonus next turn. How to play that? Right now we're in a good position. We're gaining super well if we get to keep West Africa, sorry. We're at a +13 without cards. You want to start positioning yourself to see if there's any bounty you could potentially take. Does white finally hit red? I think he just keeps building his guards. Again, he's playing an old style of Risk where you have to have really big guards and you move real slowly on easy takes. Which is working okay for him in this game, but it's just going to cause him not to be able to move fast when he needs to. Okay. So the question is, how do you play it when everyone's being good neighbor like this? They're building fast. It doesn't help me a lot to take magenta out of this position, except it would save me a ton on guards. I could get guards into better spots. Red is in a very threatening position here. I don't know if I like it. So the only reason I should trade in my cards at this point is to take white out of the game. But I need an easy take. So I'm going to add that there. Add 2 here. And 1 there. And get my easy take and not block myself off anywhere. And I'll fortify back. I don't know that I'm going to get any extra troops from cards because technically I'm first in card order. But I want to give myself the opportunity to get an extra 10 troops or so. I think I'm okay to live until that turn. I'm at 95. Red's at 96. Let's see if he goes and gets cards. He's also in a great position. He's got 2 solid bonuses. He's got some really good attacking forces set up. Unfortunately, they're all pointed at me. This may be where he breaks me. But he does go get cards. Okay. He's going to break me and take me out of Scandinavia. No, he's going to take Great Britain. Okay. He takes Great Britain, split guards it, so he's got a ton of guard troops. And he's still got this. Oh, he moves everybody back to this position. Man, he is trusting. So at some point in these games, the good neighbor goes away a little bit. The question is just when. Okay, green tries to take black out of the game. Or he just makes a really big stack. He just makes a really big stack. Okay, everyone is playing super well and super safe. White's going to add a couple guards in each of his places. Happy to be getting his 10. We still have an external place where we can take some troops, which is nice. We're card trading with Magenta. What he could trade down here too, so. Oh, black finally breaks red. All right, now we got a game going. Black breaks red and moves every single troop up right onto the border. How about that? That is good news for us. We can be a little more patient with the way we're going to play it out then. We need a setup to potentially take black out if we have that opportunity. And where would I need to be to do that? I would need to be up here probably in this position. Okay, so we're going to take that. I could take here and leave my guard there. Let's do that. Got enough there. I think the rest of my troops really need to be here. So what I'm doing is I'm going to take this magenta, but it doesn't open me up because these territories don't hit each other. There's no way to break me from that other side, so now I've got a 40 out here and a 45 here that I can work from. Magenta's been good neighbors with me down in Africa, so I'm hoping that stays the same. Obviously, he could add 10 troops there and break me, but it probably wouldn't be the move to make. I shouldn't have left him that 3. I should have fortified off that 3 so he had room to move. I'll move that next time. I want to stay friends with him for as long as I can. Okay, here goes red. He can't really retaliate against black. He doesn't have cards because he already turned him in last turn. So he goes to take France. And he retreats back to Great Britain with that stack. So that's great. Black caused him to have to retreat a little bit. All right, here goes green. He just wants the Orient. He's not trying to take black out of the game. Black has realized this, I guess. And that's why he has moved his troops out of green. Oh, no. Green hits white. Okay, so this is another really big part of Risk now, which is new. This is feeding. It's become super popular. He still could bring his 41 up and around, and he may do that to finish him off. Surely he does that. Surely he doesn't feed that much. Yeah. So he's going to bring his 41 out. But feeding has become really popular when you're not in the lead. Basically, take one of the lower players and hit them hard so that they become the fish and get taken out of the game. I don't know that I love the strategy because it's basically a way to try to get second or third place instead of fifth or sixth place. But it's become super common. That was a good play. He takes him out from both sides. He gets 40 troops. Now he can take black out of the game and he gets 4 cards. Green's in the lead for sure now. The only good news about that is green is on the other side of the board for me at this point. So, oh no, he just holds. Interesting. He had the chance to come up and take black out of the game and get 45 troops, which basically would have made up for what he was going to lose, and I think that's the way to play it. He would have had 9 cards, so he would have had a guaranteed, he would be in the same spot he is now. But black would have been out of the game. And black has proven to be quite a wild card and could have cards here. I do not have cards. Okay, let's see. Black just takes back some territory. That's the best he can do. No, he goes and hits green as hard as he possibly can. He takes green out of my side of the board, which is actually quite nice. Oh, and he breaks me. Didn't like that. Okay. Black is just mad at the world right now. Okay, black is mad at the world and leaves his 23 stack down here. Okay, so I've got to take black out of the game because of that. That's not going to be super easy to do. That sucks. He kind of suicided into me, which I guess could be a good thing, but I just wasn't really wanting to do that. Good news is I get my 5 cards back. Alright, we're going to trade in, try to capitalize a little bit. We got to figure out a way to guard back again. We do get a double trade. So we could take magenta out of the game, but you'd only get 3 cards, but that would turn us in turn, and I don't think I have the time to do it. I think I have the time to do it if I don't talk to you for a second. Yeah, I get cards again. My timer resets. The question is, I just got to reinforce, because I can't take either of the other guys out of the game at this point. I've just got to reinforce the best guard that I can possibly put in, which is right there. They will hit me and open that back up, I'm almost sure. We'll see what they do. That was intense. So black suicided into me, which I guess he was trying to make sure green couldn't take him out of the game because he was upset with green, which is fine. But that's the emotions of this game are kind of crazy. People get very emotional when you ruin their game. So don't try to get in that emotional situation because sometimes it's very illogical what people do. All right, green trades in cards. I'm at 232 troops. I should be fine to win the game. The key is now getting it down to a 2-player game. If it's a 2-on-1 game, I lose. And right now it's going to be a 2-on-1 game because I have the most troops. So these guys are going to see me as a common enemy to them. I don't know what Red didn't do much on his turn, huh? He doesn't open up the 76, and I was kind of doing that on purpose just to see how hard he would hit me. And he tried to stay friends, basically. I don't have 135 troops anywhere to take out Red. Green's hitting me as hard as he can, trying to take this half of the board. He can get it down to 3 guards here, but he doesn't really do that. Okay, so we need to be in position to be able to take either player out of the game on the next turn. The trick is we are not connected on both sides. So what we do is we leave a big enough stack on this side. We move our 76 over. Gonna limit how many troops we could lose. Leave that. And we fortify back over our 76 stack. So we're pointed both directions at least. Obviously, I can be broken. Easily, I could be broken. Green is kill guarding red, so you need to kill green first. Yeah, so green's done this, and this is really important on the Europe Advance map. This is the Crimea, or on this map, it is called Donetsk and Sevastopol. So this is the Crimean Peninsula, and green is kill guarding black. So to get red, I have to take out this 91. Thank you, Beard Bond. That is very helpful to point out. Definitely something you want to pay attention to. Red's going to hit me really, really hard here. Again, I'm playing a 2-on-1 game, which is very frustrating at this point. Because 2-on-1 you lose, right? Their troops added together are 330. I'm at 200. So I lose 2-on-1. They also get cards double the time. Wow, he even hits my 80 stack. Okay. So red just hits me as hard as he possibly can, and he blocks me from being able to get to green. Yeah, so they're making it pretty impossible playing a 2-man game right now. This is tough. You really can't win a 2-on-1 at this point in the game. It's why you want to get it down to one really weak player, and I probably should have done that a little bit better on my last turn. I didn't see red doing that based off the way he had played the entire game. Oh, green takes out his kill guard. Okay. That's interesting. Yeah, so currently I've got cards for 70. I've got to hit red as hard as I can and try to take him out of the game. I'm trying to see if I have him blocked anywhere. I don't. So we're going to work through red. Oh my gosh, I made a freaking blunder because of this blizzard. Okay. We're going to be cool about that. That was really unfortunate. Okay. And I left it there so they could leave my stack blocked, which is even dumber. Awesome move. Red finishes up his bonuses. They are now, green now has more troops than me. I'm stuck in the middle. But neither of them are going to open my 124, I don't think. I don't know, green might. He's got 186 troops. No, he does the easy take. He's got a nice wall set up here. I've screwed up royally. Oh, but he messes up a little bit because I can break him now. He's at least giving me some window to work with. I can also break red. All right, let's have some fun. Definitely played that wrong. Had to take red out on that last turn, and I just didn't. Happens sometimes. Especially when you're trying to talk and do it at the same time. It's not always the best scenario. So we're guessing where the takeout's going to be. It's got to be on this side. Would love to get cards on 3. We did not. Red takes me out of this position. Again, so if you get in this 2-on-1 game, it's just really brutal. Green's taken over the board and red hasn't really figured it out, or red is just working to feed me to green is more of his concept now. Not sure. But he's got 117 troops. I've got 126 here. Depending on how hard green hits me, I think green's playing still conservatively. But if I take out red, I get an 80 troop trade, which is not enough to make up for having to take him out. But the way he's hitting me, I think I have to at this point. But then green wins the game no matter what. Unless green's a really slow attacker. That would be my only hope. Problem is I can't take red out because he's got this 26 sitting over here. If at any point he would have stopped just hitting me every turn, we would have a lot better shot to do something here. And so I think I leave it there. Kind of opening it up. If green wants to go get that bounty, he can. Yeah, I'm kind of half feeding. So I'm trying to kind of half feed red to green. Red gets cards. I'm saying half feeding because I'm blocking red off from being able to hit my stack with his stack. Also, I'm trying to make green have to earn it. If he's going to take out red, I want him to earn his 80 troops that he gets from cards. And he's going to have to earn it, taking out 188 troops. So no way he goes and does that. The logic would be to want to keep red in the game so he can play 2-on-1 with me against green. The problem with that is red is not being very cooperative and only hitting me, not helping out at all against green. Now green has a one guard with blizzards. This map is insane the way blizzards are set up. Just happen to be that way. So my only game is to go hit 188 red troops, I guess. Or I roll down green. Red doesn't have cards. So we'll do just a single attack. We're going to let red get some troops here in hopes that he will realize what green's doing to us. Yeah, but if I kill red, so Bondbeard Bond is saying, go ahead and take red out now, which I could, but I lose 200 troops approximately. So I'm down to like 50 troops. I don't have a card trade in, so green just takes me out that next turn. He can move fast enough to take out half the board. And he has figured out this one guard position, which would be troubling. Now in 3 turns, green's not going to have that option, or he's going to have to bury his stack. Or a portion of his stack, at least. We've got 13 troops. I'm trying to decide how to go about this. I gotta wait. Oh, if I take red out now. Okay, I think I just try it. The writing's kind of on the wall for me here. So you take out red and you just kind of hope that everything works itself out. We're going to see just how slow green is. He's got cards also. I'm going to block here to make him go through one of my stacks at least. Yeah, I mean, getting second definitely helps you rank up faster. I'm just trying to see. There's just no way you win a 483 versus 170 troops, so we just kind of GG it at this point. He goes through both of my stacks, which is fine. He is a slow attacker. He'll get there though, because he's going to be able to fortify back to this single position, and I'm not going to be able to break him. If I happen to get cards again, ooh, that makes it a little more interesting if I'm alive. I don't think he'll take me out on this turn. The question is whether he'll block here. If he doesn't block here, I get to go breaky breaky and take out a bunch of his and make this game a little more fun. He may be a newer player, don't know, but it could be that he has his camera animations turned on. So if you guys have those on, turn them off. That's a disadvantage. Oh, he does not get the protection in. And we've got cards. Okay. We got to go hit as many territories as we can. We're going to send like 20 over there so I can make sure I break everything on that side. Then we just go hit everything we can. Messed up my split back there, as you guys saw. Not the end of the world, hopefully. We're at least going to break everything. Had a lot more troops than I realized I had there. We're playing with big numbers of troops. Okay, so he's got 288. Oh, I gotta break that? Yes. Okay. He's down to 14 territories. He's a slow player. Yeah, so red hitting that 80 stack, I agree. Bondbeard Bond says red smacking that 80 stack is a bad move by him, ruin your game, and his for no reason. Yeah, it was just a weird time for that to happen. He seemed upset, and I guess I maybe had recently broken one of his positions, but definitely ruined kind of both of our games. So now we're going to see how to come back from a 300 troop deficit, which seems unlikely. The way you do it against a slow attacker is you take as much of the board as you can every turn, which I screwed up, and I still didn't fortify my freaking 66 back out. Are you kidding me? Okay. You fortify, you take as many territories as you can, and use the advantage of speed. He's taken 14 territories so far. I've got 45 left. He did find his position back here of where to protect himself. I'm trying to see if I can block it in. No, I can't block him in. Okay. What do we want? What do we want? We're going to split and just take some off each side. And we're going to move our 66 this time and not be dumb about it. Okay, and then we got this. Can't really put anywhere not to block it, huh? Does he get cards? He's at 16 territories, so we made up one territory during this process. We're down to a 260 troop differential. He smartly leaves his block this time. He's going to go break me. Let's see how many territories he gets up to. We're not going to have cards. We only have 2. We've got to take this territory and this territory next turn. Yeah, he hits the 66 stack, so that helps us a little bit, opens up the board a little bit. He buries an 86 here, which is interesting. I can leave that locked. Come up through here, leave that locked, hit as much of this as I can. Hopefully he doesn't move that back in time. Yeah, he doesn't. Okay. Can't hit there. Don't want to block ourselves off from any potential pathing. And we like to keep him blocked down into this corner for now. Okay. Don't see any good fortifies beyond like something like that. Right, he doesn't get cards this time. He's got to use his 6 troops. He can use his 192 to take out this half of the board. Let's see if he remembers to take this 85 and open it back up. We're at a 240 troop disadvantage right now. He's up to 21 territories. And I've got a trade. Okay, now we're playing. So I've got to take back out this path. I would like to keep his 85 locked if he leaves it locked. So I could put like 10 here, 20 here, and the rest here. And then just work back through his path he's creating for me. 10 here, 20 here. We're going to go fast. We're just going to take out these 2 positions for cleanup purposes so I stop making dumb mistakes as much, hopefully. I'm attacking with click, enter, enter, just so you guys know that's the fastest way to attack on a PC. I didn't need to split there, that was dumb. Do I lock him into going one way? Does that help me? Probably with this guy. Fortify here, maybe? Yeah, so he's got 4 territories. I'm going to leave him to where he has to be forced to go up. And it kind of makes sure that I'm going to have this stack on the other end of him, probably. He doesn't have cards because he only got to 3 there. We're now to 120 troop disadvantage. So we're much more in the game, but he's 2 cards ahead of me. 3 cards ahead of me. So I've still got a big disadvantage to make up, but the key is I'm attacking quickly and taking a bunch of territories. So we're in the midst of potentially an epic comeback. He curls all the way back around to hit my stack, which probably is the move to make there because he wants me to have less troops. But he blocks himself in, so he prevents himself from being able to take it. I'm not going to unlock his 85 for him. So I'm just going to play. He can't go this way or that way. He's locked himself into both of those, so I'm going to leave those positions because those don't really affect me a ton. He's going to get cards next turn, remember. I'm going to leave that so later I remember. I think I don't want to unlock him coming to hit me this direction. And I leave him locked in there. He's going to get cards, but I can't take him out anytime soon. The game is using the speed to my advantage right now. I'm leaving his 85 locked in, making him attack from this one stack. He didn't get cards on 4, okay. I still don't have the troops to like take him out or anything. and he's going to get cards next turn. He's going to get 115 troops. We're down to a 80 troop difference now. We're just kind of letting him make his mistakes. Maybe he makes a mistake up here in Denmark. Okay, he's still got one path to go. Depends how he... Okay, he doesn't hit here. He's going to try to break me a little bit, which is fine. I'm hoping he makes a mistake where I can lock in another stack, potentially, and he has to use his card stack as his only attack next turn. I'm going to come back through this same path. That's why I put the big stack right at the end of his 1, knowing that he couldn't come back to hit me, and it would create a nice path for me to work with. He leaves his 103 here. I'm going to do kind of the same thing back to him. Just keep forcing him to go the way we want him to go around the board is what we're doing. So if I hit that, it opens him up. It's not worth breaking him for the 2. But he can come basically through either side. I just like to create a nice little tail to work with. So I'm going to leave that and even let him have the 2. It's not going to matter a ton because he's getting cards. Maybe should have hit that stack. I don't know. I'm liking the... I don't think he's even with enough troops. In 5 to 6 turns, you'll be... Yeah, the generating's the key. His speed is the problem, so I'm trying to keep taking advantage of that. I think the longer this game goes, the better chance I have. So I don't want to give him a chance to maybe make a run. I don't think there's any chance in 1 turn he takes out all these territories. Speed-wise, not troop-wise. So he's at 160 troop advantage after turning in cards, so that's a lot better. We do not have cards on 3, which would have seemed unfair if we got that twice in a row, right? He's going to move his 85 stack to the end of wherever this one ends. Let's see what he can... Maybe he locks in that 85. He just locked in that 85 again. Unless... No, he can fortify it back out, yeah. Okay, so he's figured out how not to lock those in. We've got 54. We can take that out, and we could hit him here, and we can hit him from this side, I think is what we do. We're hoping for cards next turn. Again, I'm keeping my tail here. I'm leaving the 1 so he can't come hit me from this side, and I have a nice path to come hit him back on. Considering hitting that 96 stack, but he's just not getting very far. I think I like the idea of having it. I think there is logic to hitting his 96 stack here and making that weaker, but I think I would rather have the tail set for me so that I have a smooth path work, because my whole game is speed right now, is I've got to attack quickly. He's down to a 90 troop advantage. And him with 2 stacks, I think, makes it more possible he ends up locking one in somehow. I also could have left a 1 territory guard, but I don't think that's my game at this point. He's attacking faster. He seems to have figured out part of the attacking piece of it. Hopefully we got cards on 4. We do not have cards on 4. Okay. That sucks. He takes his 170 the opposite direction. So he's going to try to go 2 directions here to make it tougher on my stack. It'll be interesting to see how he fortifies at the end of this. I don't think he does. Yeah, he doesn't. I'm going to try to take out one of his stacks and leave him with one way to go. Nice. We got a good roll there. We come back off the other side, and we again leave him one path out. We will get cards next turn. We move our 19 back over to here. Went the wrong way. Our 19 back over to here. We'll get cards. We're now 40 troops behind with cards. We will be the troop. Oh, he got cards on 4. Okay. That's okay. Thought we maybe were going to be able to end the game there. We will not be able to end the game yet. Slow and steady wins the race, right? Yeah, so if I get cards on 3 after turning in this turn, I think I can kill him. But I'm just not going to give him any opening because I know where my advantage is. So I'm going to keep playing a little bit slowly on stuff versus rolling a big stack. Like if I was playing a player that plays like me, I would hit his stack with my 80 stack or whatever, even though I knew I'm going to lose them all. Because I would limit how many territories he can take. What's he do? Loop here? He's going to loop back to my stack. Okay. Okay. So we're in a smaller loop. He's got a smaller stack, and he has buried it. He does not get cards next turn, so I limit him in what he can take. I get a huge... okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to kind of lock him into this position even further than he has himself. Leave like a 20 there, knowing he's only getting 3 next turn. I'll explain what I did in just 1 second, I promise. So I'm leaving him locked in, knowing he's not got cards next turn. He's only getting 3 troops. His 225 can only hit these 2 territories. I'm going to get a huge bonus. I don't think I need any more than 20. No way he would take that out. Might as well grab one of these. Okay. Yeah, so he can only take Spain. He's locked himself in here. Yeah, we'll good game him. Well played, sir. So he's locked into Spain. The reason he lost this game is just his speed of attacking. I was just able to attack faster than him and make up a huge troop disadvantage. No cards on 3 for me. He blocks himself in further. I'm not going to roll him because I want to wait. Not to be mean, I'm waiting because I want to make sure I got it before I do it. And I'll be able to have it next turn. We're just locking him in a little more. Except he could get cards here, which is fine if he does. But if he gets cards, I'm going to let him go. I guess I could have tried to take him out, huh? That's probably the move to make there. Let's see if he gets cards. I was just playing the percentage of him not getting cards, and he did not, so that's good. We get cards, we win. Huge comeback of like 400 troops down. And that's why I like to play, when I'm playing rank up games, I like to play these bigger maps. The ranked games in classic maps right now are just a luck of the draw. If you happen at the right time to get the cards, to take out the right bounty at the right time, you get to just snowball and take the whole map. So I think these bigger maps like this are the way. If you're really trying to rank up in Risk right now, play these bigger maps like this, because then you'll have a chance to use your strategy and your speed and things like that to your advantage, which will give you a higher percentage chance of winning, and that's what ranking up's all about. Hope you guys enjoyed this. If you want to see more videos like this, check me out on YouTube. I'm at Mitch on Risk. I post tips and tricks and strategies for everybody to use. Until next time, may your dice be nice. I'm done with YouTube, but I'll be staying on stream for some more ranked games.